And now for the fifth and final of the challenge contracts for Zero Mastery. This one's called I'm You, but way better, and it's in Sapienza. We're going to have to fiberwire 5 people in their same disguise, and in addition, we can't force any doors open with the crowbar, and we cannot knock anyone out, but we can still do it. What I'm doing over there is I'm placing a coin. This is a trick that Chaos Agent 45 on the PS4 showed me, which is basically you put a coin as close to this corner of the door as possible, and when an NPC sees it, like this lady in yellow who usually comes up to look in this door, they'll open the door for you. So didn't have to blow open that door, which before I was using the explosive golf ball for, so now we're not going to have to blow open any doors at all. So I'm going to come down here to the flower shop, even though I briefly decided to go the other way for some reason. What I'm going to do is unlock it with a shop key, and when you're using a key on a door, it's legal, even if you don't have access to the place behind it, so you don't have to worry about people looking at you, because unlike picking or forcing a lock, nobody cares. So we're going to get our fiber wire out, but we're also going to make sure we have a coin. This isn't necessary, but I do want to show that it kind of helps. As we're getting up here, kind of throw a coin over in that area near the shadow. That should cause him to turn around, but not the other guy on the cyclist. The only reason to do that is while he's on the phone, he kind of moves around. He stands in one place, but he turns randomly, and there's a chance that he'll turn away from where you're going to fiber wire him, and you'll punch him instead, or he'll see you or something. So we're not going to take that risk. We'll just throw a coin and then get him as he's going towards it. We then have to come into the house. I went through the ruins, first because it's quicker, second because it skips a frisk, and I don't want to give up my gun, even though I'm not using it for much. And we're going to come down here into the basement, and there is a housekeeper disguise here in this little laundry room. So that's our second free disguise. We're just going to come through the kitchen. We're allowed to be in here as a housekeeper. We're fine. Grab this key card, and we're going to leave, and we're going to hang a left. And we're going to use the key to get into the Sanguine store, so we don't have to break in. We can do this in plain sight of everyone. The target in front of us, he is not an enforcer, but we're not just going to wire him right away. I just want to show off another use of the trick here. This door is locked. The shop key cannot open it. I don't know if there's any key on the map that can. Normally you'd have to force this door open.
How about you show yourself?
But you can use the same trick to get him to open the door for you. But there's a risk, because see, the door closed in my face. So I want to show what to do if that happens, because the disguise you need for the next guy is past that door. And if you can't force doors on master requirements, you're going to need another way. So what we would do is go up to the cafe here, that's always empty, and use the shop key to unlock this. Now there are a couple of doors in here that are also always locked. The one at the end of that hallway is always locked, but the one back here in the kitchen that goes to the exact same place is not. So you can open it. You can also open this door to get the disguise. Now you can't open the other door from the other side, so you're going to have to go double back. And if you get locked inside because of that, because the door can lock behind you if a person opens it for you, you can just take this route to get out. So now we're going to go to the barber shop. This disguise is the only other one on the map other than the one worn by the barber, so as far as I know, this is the only way to get it without knocking him out, so obviously we need to use this one, even if we were knocking people out, because there isn't anybody else we can knock out for this. So we're going to do a double coin lure to get him out into the street, and then another one to get him into a nearby house. Now, if you're playing on Expert and you're just bringing whatever, well, I guess you can't because it's Zero Mastery, but if you were not doing Zero Mastery, you could use a medic syringe to speed this up, because he will go to the exact same place that I'm going to be taking him, and I'll show you where that is. Just right in here.
Are you alright? You want me to call a doctor?
That bin over there, that trash bin, that's where he would go if he were hit with an emetic poison, so that's one way to get him to come in here. Either way, once he comes in, close the door, wait a little bit, and then go ahead and get him. Wait just to make sure that there's no X-ray possibilities or anything like that. You can pretty much leave him on this side of the wall, on this wall, but it's a little safer to just drag him up here. No one will come in and out of this apartment building as far as I know. Seems like someone is supposed to, but nobody ever does. So where we need to go next is this room, but it's locked. It's an apartment. We do not have a key for the apartment. We do not have a crowbar to force it, and we're not allowed, per the master rules, to force it. So we're going to need a key. But where do we get one?
At the market.
Well, let's go over and deal with another of the targets first. As soon as you step into this apartment building, the gardener upstairs on the balcony will start walking downstairs. So what we need to do is drop a coin on this landing, and we're going to go all the way upstairs, and we should just be catching him as he leaves. We run into his apartment behind him. Don't bump him, or he'll see you trespassing in there. Get the extra disguise and the apartment key, because the door locked behind you, and follow him downstairs. Now, he should have stopped to see the coin, so you should have plenty of time to get him.
Jeez.
Just make sure you're both on stable ground, and then go ahead and strangle him. And again, you can leave him here. He's the only person who goes in and out of this building. Now we can go back to that apartment that we couldn't open, because it turns out that the apartment key opens all apartments on Sapienza for whatever reason, so one key works just as well on another door. And inside, we can find a church staff disguise. That's the last disguise that we're going to need. So now we need to head for the church. Now, if you're at about the time I am, the guy will be in an ideal position. He may also be back in the graveyard. If the coast is clear, you can wire him there and dump him over a wall into the ocean, and that takes care of him. But you can also just wait for him to be up here in the pulpit, because while he's up here, if you kill him, nobody will notice. In addition, no one will come up here. He's the only person who does. So you can get rid of him. Now all we have to do is leave, but let's get our suit back first since I made that a requirement. If not, you can just hang a right and leave through the harbor. Although this probably isn't the fastest route if you're not doing restrictions. There's probably a faster way to do this. I've done this much faster without them. So whatever the case, we now have our suit back, so we can leave. And there you go. Didn't knock anyone out, didn't force open any doors, just used a trick once or twice, and used keys for the rest of the situation, and only used disguises that we picked up off the ground. Still no problem. Didn't even take that long, really.